This Sunday on Press Pass, Lordstown's role in America's AI industry is expanding. OpenAI and Softbank announced plans to build 5 new data centers nationwide, including one at the former GM Lordstown plant. That's in addition to SoftBank's plans to use part of the complex to manufacture AI server equipment. Drawings submitted to the Ohio EPA from a Japanese company show a new construction behind the Foxconn plant near Altium Cells. It's all a part of the Stargate project. The facility will now include both a server plant and a data center with a capacity of up to 1.5 gigawatts, enough to power hundreds of thousands of homes, putting pressure on the local electrical grid. Demand from AI has already driven up electricity rates in the valley. So here with more on these plans, owner of Pelican 3 Consulting, Paul Hugenberg. Paul, thank you so much for joining me. So with part of the Lordstown complex already slated for AI server manufacturing, how significant of a venture is this entire project shaping up to be?
It's quite a significant introduction into the valley. So SoftBank, Oracle, OpenAI, the Stargate project is an international, heavily backed, large investment in an AI. So the valley being a part of that is a very significant move.
So what exactly does a data center do in terms of powering artificial intelligence?
So artificial intelligence is all about the evaluation of tremendous size sets of data. And in order to do that, you need very large architecture systems, very large server sets, a lot of electricity, a lot of water. And the computation that comes out of that is what drives AI decisioning.
So what is it responsible for?
So the data center itself?
Yeah.
So the data center itself is going to be an AI data center where those large data sets will live, and the contextual questions that are asked by AI are put through that architecture, and Lordstown server sets being one of many across the United States that will be a part of that.
And so these data centers, of course, use a lot of power and water, but a spokesperson from SoftBank says that this will not be a massive facility. But nevertheless, how well positioned is Lordstown to kind of meet these needs without running into water issues or energy?
So there's kind of 3 answers to that. So one, Lordstown obviously has a commercial infrastructure that was used for cars, batteries in the past. And so we're ahead of some let's just say, shovel-ready, dirt-moving jobs. We already have a big infrastructure. The second is the architecture of this is going to be a smaller component of the overall facility, and the method in which they are going to use water and draw electricity will be smaller at the beginning than other large data centers around the country. For sure, the infrastructure and capacity of our grid and our water resources is a concern that has to be addressed ongoing.
I wonder what, if anything, might residents who live nearby, what will they notice once the facility is up and running? Will they have, more noise where they live? What are some of the factors?
That's a great question. So as opposed to factory growth, which we have seen in the valley in the past, an AI data center is generally a closed physical building. So it's automated. Just, AI is automation. The data centers will be automated. So you're obviously going to see a lot of upfront building and infrastructure and construction like you referenced earlier. After that, it's going to be kind of the side and feeder jobs that people will see, but they're not going to see the noise. It's not going to create any smells. It's just going to be a large building sitting at the Lordstown facility that is going to be quite an add to the environment.
And once the data center is up and running, what kind of new economic or development opportunities do you think this will kind of bring about from other companies nationwide?
Sure, so that's another great question. So again, so we're not talking like a factory job where there's going to be hundreds of thousands of employees that get hired into this new plant. You're going to see a lot of tech work happening, and you're going to see the majority of the jobs associated with this going to be from construction and consulting and engineering during the build. Once it's up and running, again, it's going to be more of a closed door facility. So it's going to be kind of those ongoing feeder jobs in the community that are going to be the biggest impact of this. Now, the nice part about it is any of the tax revenue or the agreements on how we address the tax revenue situation certainly will provide a more disparate economic environment for Lordstown. So we're getting into a lot of different industries, which makes for a healthier economy.
And then, Paul, before I let you go, AI continues to expand in daily life. Is there anything that consumers should watch out for moving forward?
So yes, so it's going to be more from the folks that are trying to take advantage of you will also use AI in order to find better ways to take advantage of you, and things get easier and more real with AI. So it always comes back to just user awareness and kind of comfort in how you're using systems, and when something doesn't feel right, trust your gut. Lots of best practices we can go over at another time, but at this point, just doesn't feel right, move on.
All right, lots of things to consider and watch out for. Paul, thank you so much again for joining me. I appreciate it.
Yep.
WFMJ Weekend Today will be right back with more.